Hello, howdy doody, etc., etc. I've got a few new cards that I picked up. Bought a binder off of a local guy that came in. Sold off a few things already. But I've got a few more that I just want to show people and see if anybody's interested in. Two promos here. The Magic Fish and the Psychic Duck. XY143 and SM199. The S&M is always fun. So those are those. Now, we'll go into a few foreign language here. Please, if you know, correct me. I want to say this is a Portuguese Togetic. Could be just Spanish. It's got a nice, sexy swirl right up here. People like the swirls. And then the card's actually in pretty decent condition. This bottom corner here is a little bit dinky, but the rest of the card is definitely lightly played. I would say moderately played. Needs a little bit of a wipe, but I can do better pictures of anything if somebody needs them. So, and then I believe we're looking at German here. We got the Mr. Mime or Pantamos and Incognito A. Neither are first edition. We just got a Jungle and a Neo something or other. Could just be Dutch, I don't know. But maybe German. So anyway, that's those two. Again, they're looking pretty good. Couple little divots down here in the corner here. Other than that, this one looks pretty nice. That's the Mime. And then this one here is pretty decent. The worst would be this corner here, but it looks pretty good. And then the surface is actually pretty decent too. So, yep, again, I can do better pictures. These, I believe, are French. You got Tortank Obscure, first edition Rocket Blastoise, non-hollow. Tiny little lightly played there. And then Pyroli, not first edition. And this one here, like the worst of it is this corner right there. Looks pretty good. And then even got a Charizard that is Francested. Frenched. It's Frenched. There you go, it's Frenched. So yeah. And again, that's the Charizard bottom. That's the Nick. Other than that, the other four corners are pretty sharp. Little tiny white dot up top. Save you guys some time. The hollow itself is pretty special there. Very light surface scratching. No deep gouges or anything of that nature. So that's pretty cool. So I believe I've been wrong before. I believe all the rest of this is Murican. So Togetic hollow. Rainbow Energy from Team Rocket. Venomoth. And unless I say something specific like this one here, so that bottom, they would be lightly played. And again, we can definitely check conditions as well later. So Dark Golbat. Dark Trio. With a decent swirl pattern or two right over there in the corner. It's hard to see unless I get it in the right. Yeah, whatever. That has a bit of a divot right there. This is a Southern Islands Jigglypuff. Looks pretty good. In this collection, I got a Southern Islands sealed Japanese with the Mewtwo in them. But my boy David already picked it up. So I got 3 Ninetales from base set. This one's got a little bit of, this one's closer to moderately played. You can see the edging here as well. And this third one looks pretty decent. Maybe a little bit, but you know. Clefable, Jungle Set. Hitmontop. I don't remember all of my Neo symbols, so The top has a little bit of corner issue there. I got 2 sweet coons. This one's on point. This one's pretty rough. It's mainly just this bottom, well, the whole edge here. So this one's moderately to heavily played. It's got some weird stuff on the back. The hollow is not terrible, but it's still, you know, looks like it's mostly on the back issue. Vulpix. Vulpix is, again, lightly to moderately played. She's got a little bit of corner edges on those 2 corners. That's a legendary reverse. So we got Scyther from base 2. Looks pretty good. And Dark Wheezing from the Rocket set. Looks pretty good. Let me put all these away. Base set Chan. The bottom of that one is a little rough. Hypno. From Fossil. Electrode is a first edition jungle. Got a little bit of a nick right there in the whiting on the edge. That's about it. Fossil Muck. Again, a little bit on the bottom there. Magnemite. I see a tiny little corner piece, but not too bad. Magneton Reverse Hollow from one of those older sets. You guys know the set. I can't, my brain, I've worked all day. Pretty good. Magneton Hollow from base set. Dark Arbok with a good swirl in the corner here. Some people like the swirls, I tell you. He does have a little bit of a divot there and up top. Tentacruel from the Islands, and he's got a good dink on the corner there. Poliwrath from base 2. Looks pretty good. Japanese and English Victory Bells. This one's got a little bit of edging on the bottoms. This one's got what appears to be a it's hard to catch it in the light. It's like a little divot, like a bend in the card itself. You can see it back there on that one. Machamp. Dark Machamp's got a little bit right here in this corner, a little bit of nicking here. And then this guy here, as with a lot of them, once as soon as they're out of the pack, this has got some silvering around the edges. The back looks pretty decent, couple of little spots. Dark Alakazam looks pretty clean. Base set Chansey. It's got a little bit of wearing on the edges. That's closer to moderately played. Kangaskhan. This one looks alright. And this one has a little bit of, so lightly played and moderately played. Pinsir. Just a tiny bit of whiting on that bottom edge. Not terrible. Flareon is in the jungle. I don't know if you can see right there is a decent little scratch on the tail. Let me see here. Yeah, you can kind of see that little white right there. Other than that, I'm not sure how the rest of these, this one's got the, you can see that shine right. Dude, come on. There you go. The hollow pattern in that corner, kind of like the Zapdos, the English Zapdos. But other than that, the card looks pretty good. I'm not sure if that's in a lot of Japanese or not. So we got Water Kabutops from one of the Neo sets. The back looks pretty good. Fossil Kabutops. A little bit right there in that corner. Dark Gyarados. I would talk about the swirl, but you can barely see it coming off the top of the edge right there. Looks pretty good. The Lapras. Little bit of something on that top edge there. There it is. Articuno from Fossil. Pretty good. Jungle Vaporeon. This one looks pretty good. Tiny bit of like this edge here. It's kind of hard to. A little bit of whiting right there. It looks like it might have been smacked somewhere. Another Jungle Vaporeon. This one's got a tiny bit of whiting on the bottom edges. A couple of Snorlaxuses. It already looks like this one has surface scratching on it. But the back looks pretty good. Actually, surface scratching is not too bad on this one. It's just a bit. And I can pull out my other light if there's anything particular somebody really wants to, you know, how good a card is. I can always pull it out and take a couple of snaps, like here in the bottom. There's that one. Alright, so Jolteon. The top has a couple of little white nips. Aerodactyl. The whole bottom of this thing is chewed. Zap of the Dose. Base set looks pretty good. You can see a little bit of whiting across the bottom there. Fossil Moltres. Again, a little bit right there on the bottom. Meganium looks pretty good. Dark Dragonite. Tiny bit in this corner here. Minute surface scratching across the face of it. I don't know why it keeps autofocusing me. Warner Brothers Dragonite looks pretty sharp, lightly played at the worst. Spearow Reverse, hollow or just hollow, I'm not sure. I guess it's a reverse. He looks good. Most of this is Wizards of the Coast. We just found a few oddballs in there that I wanted to, you know. Pidgeot looks pretty decent. Some whiting across the bottom. The bottom is key on a lot of these guys. Koga, Surge, and here comes Team Rocket. Koga is pretty messed up. Well, compared to the rest of them. Koga is moderately played. Surge looks pretty decent. Little light on that edge there. Good swirl right there. Here comes Team Rocket. I don't know if there's a swirl or not, but it's holographic. And the top has a bit of issue there. So, first edition Miracle Energy. This one, not terrible. A couple of little white nicks here and there. Looks pretty alright. Dragonite. Dragonite looks decent. A little bit of white way up top there. The Fireboy here. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Good swirl over here. That's the promo. So I got all three. There's for Alligator too. I got all three of the promos in that set. Mewtwo promo, number 14. This one's pretty rough all around. Cleffa. Some people collect this one. It's playable in some of the formats. In one format, I think. That corner, and this one's a little bit whited there here. This one is out of a Pikachu set. The Flaffy looks kind of cool, so I just pulled it out of the binder. Ampharos out of Pop. No. Is that Pop 7 or is that the other thing? I can't see that far. It's a 17 card set. It's Pop 7. Okay. Looks pretty good. Light as you Meryl. As you wish, Meryl. That corner is pretty rough there. A little bit of whiting all around it, so moderately played on that guy. Yanma is a reverse hollow. Lightly played, yeah. The King of Snow. It looks good, except for I see it's really hard to catch, but there's like a divot right here. The light caught it weird, so I just had to... I can see a little bit more right there on the hollow pattern, but it's jumping out of focus. There it is right there. Boom. It's not like a big crease. It's not like a big indentation, but it's there. Here we go. Hollows everywhere. Nice swirl up there for the Doom. The back looks pretty good. Skarmory looks pretty good as well. White corner a little bit over here. Is this what's catching my attention? Freaks. So yeah, all right. This one here, also I see a little bit of whiting already on the front side. The back looks pretty good. Porygon 2. I'll save him as well. So Porygon, yeah, him. So Porygon 2 looks pretty good. Some swirliness up top. Backside's all right. Base set Mewtwo. He's got a little bit of whiting around the edges, a lot of whiting up top. Moderately played on him. Golem, reverse, pretty sharp on that one. I might send him to get graded. Those guys are always hot when graded. So, some Vileplumes. I got a Japanese with a big swirl pattern. Like, Japanese have a lot of good swirl patterns in them, so I don't know why I keep pointing all those out. Looks like a dink up there in the top corner. Dark Vileplume, swirl behind him. There's a swirl in English, yeah. And Dark Vileplume first edition. The regular looks good on the back, first edition. Little bit of whiting down here on the bottom. Not really a lot to talk about there. Jungle first edition. This one's a bit rougher. You can see a lot of whiting all the way down the back and bottom. So, Blastoise base 2. Looks pretty good there. A tiny bit of whiting on the back, but not too shabby. Venusaur base 2. Also, like, that's like the worst of it on this bottom corner here. So not too shabby at all. Dark Blastoise holographic. Big old swirl pattern right here. Back's got a tiny bit of whiting and a good divot right there. Yeah, terrible. We got a dark Charizard. If you care more about the balls, there is a, there it is. Big ball right there in the sky. Hollow ball. Hollow ball in the sky. Okay, I won't sing no more. Back looks pretty good. Steelix, been folded in half. If you buy something else and said, hey, I want that Steelix too, I'll just throw it in for you. Dark Persian here. Now, this is a different story. The back side, if you look at it, it looks nice and sharp. Let me get some shine on it. No big deal. But the front side, you can see it's like, I don't know, it's weird. First off, there's a good swirl pattern right there too. But it looks like the, I can't even catch it in this, can I? I see 1, 2, 3 lines, 3 big lines coming all the way down the card. There you go. There you go. See them right there? It looks like the top layer of paper bubbled as it was being put on. So, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool, but it's definitely not everybody's cup of tea, especially if you drink coffee. All right. So, Houndoom. This guy, there's one on TCG Player right now, and it is $99. This one here is pretty sharp. I mean, there's my worst corner there. And light scuffing side to side on the hollow pattern, but for the most part, pretty nice looking. Did it again. Keep going out of focus. But again, I can get better pictures for you. And the last one is a Shining T-Tar. Again, the hollow pattern, the shininess of the T-Tar looks nice. The front is nice. Backside, I've got pretty good here. Yeah, I mean, this one's pretty nice too. So if I was to grade it, I'd say maybe if I'm lucky, a 9, maybe an 8 if I'm unlucky. But that's it. If you're interested in any of those, please let me know.